So it's already 6:10. So shall we start? Hi guys. So you remember me? Some of you might be from 2 to 4. So here we have a better lecture hall. That's good. So my name is Ali for those who are new. And we are going to have Introduction to Machine Learning this semester together. So a bit of logistics is pretty much like any other course, at least courses with me. Logistic is the same, so let's just have a brief overview on the course logistic. ECE1513, Introduction to Machine Learning. Yeah. So my name is Ali Brahi. You can find me in Bayhin, 7th floor. And you can write me an email. Would be happy to answer any query you would have. The course is just a single session per week. So we have it 6 to 9. I booked the room till 9:30 because I usually give a break for this long lecture. And then just to make sure that nobody shows up at 9, right in the front of the door when we are just at the end of something, right? So it's pretty late, but I'm sorry for that. I mean, it was not my choice. Now, you got tutorials. So we have Saba and Mohammad Reza this semester. So they are going to give us the tutorials. And the tutorial is going to be here on Monday. Again, I couldn't find earlier than that, so 7 to 8. Mostly they are going to help you with assignments and some Python programming, okay? So that's it. I mean, and of course, I mean, this week has passed already. Okay, so it's not the case for this one. No, not yesterday. You had no tutorial from next week. And yeah, so the TAs, we have 4 TAs. So one TA is getting replaced. So I don't know the name exactly right now. But Saba and Mohammad Reza, they will be mostly responsible for tutorials, assignments, helping you with them. And then Fateme and the other TA who is going to join, they will be mostly responsible for the project, the course project, and helping you, I mean, with programming or anything of that kind that you might have. Kirkus page, probably all of you had it, so you're here. And you're already enrolled there, and you are registered within Piazza through that, so you can ask any question that you have. On Piazza, any material of the course, I'm going to share it on Kirkus. So you have the first lecture note already on Kirkus. You have the these logistics also on the Kirkus, and anything else that I want to share, I would do it through that. And if you have a question, just go ahead. We would be more than happy to help you. Piazza is the best place you can try to get in touch. So the course is about machine learning. So this is a bit more general than like specific course on deep learning or reinforcement learning or something like that. So mainly what we try to do here, we try to give you a very broad intuition and idea about what machine learning is. And then in machine learning itself, you can do lots of things. You can deal with weird problems. So we try to have a bit of touch on everyone. And then you're going to get the idea of all of them. And if you want to just focus on one particular thing, then you need to just have more study on that particular topic. So the main purpose is to give you a very broad overview. And to do that, we're going to do 2 main parts. The first part is going to be on unsupervised learning. So the idea that you have a bunch of data, you want to do clustering. If you have high dimensional data and you want to reduce dimension, you want to do dimensionality reduction. If you have a bit of samples and then you want to somehow get the idea, okay, can I model this as a kind of samples of a stochastic process, then you need to learn a sort of distribution for that, right? And then these are the topics that usually you do in unsupervised learning. So we're going to somehow just touch every single of them a bit, and then hopefully you get the idea, and then you can extend this to more specific problems. So through this, I try to wrap up a bit of linear algebra and probability for you. It's not a very huge thing that you might need, but I imagine that you mostly have the basics. Anything a bit more than basic, I try to say it first, and then I build up on that. But if you have any question, you're always welcome to ask. So don't hesitate. Don't think that your question might sound stupid. So the next part would be supervised learning. So in the supervised learning, we try to just flip around. We just go for the case where we are trying to approximate a function. And then we start with the basic case. So the linear regression, the binary classification. And gradually, we try to improve it. So we're going to see, for example, how support vector machines work and how we can do the learning in this problem. So basically, we are going to discuss the gradient descent algorithm, how we can just use a bunch of data and do minimization on the risk that we compute out of it using a stochastic gradient descent. Ideas like that, we try to just develop them in this part of the course. What is overfitting? What is underfitting? How we can deal with that? The idea of regularization. And then, somewhere close to the end of semester, we're going to start with the neural networks. So we're going to get the idea neural networks are one specific models, which turn out to be very powerful models. And then we try to just talk about them, see why they're so popular. And then out of that, we try to just learn some basics about them. So you might wonder so that whether we are going to talk about deep neural networks or not, especially if you had the other course, 1508. So we are not going to get that deep inside that, even though we are going to talk about them. So when we are in part 2, we are going to get into neural networks as one example of models for, at least in that case, supervised learning. Okay? And that particular model, we are going to just talk why this is a very good, very generic model with the high power of generalization. So we're going to understand this. So basically, we're going to look into the universal approximation theorem. We see why this is happening. And then out of that, you get motivated. So we are going to talk about MLPs, the very basic form, and also a bit about convolutional neural networks. So I try to touch those topics so that if this is the only topic course you are taking on machine learning, you still know what they are doing. But if you really want to know in depth, this is not going to cover that deep, the deep neural networks. But definitely for those who are very motivated and interested, you can start from that point, ending this course, and you can build your own set of skills. Just go online, try new projects, and you definitely can do it. But this course is not focusing on deep neural networks. So it's not about deep learning. It's mainly about general machine learning. Okay? So ECE1508 is the one which is pretty much focusing on deep neural networks. So we're going to get into this part in that course, and then we zoom in. I mean, we just make it like all the details there. But here we are just going to talk about very basic fundamentals, which are enough if you want to just know what they are, how they work, and how you can use them. Okay? Now, you can check out the details on Kirkus, and what do we have as the components of the course, like other courses? Assignments, midterm, and the final. So again, we don't have final exam, but we have a final project. How do we deal with this stuff? So for the assignments, actually, what we are going to do, we are going to have 5 sets of assignments. So they are not going to be huge assignments, so a bit shorter assignments. And you're going to have 5 sets of them. So they are the most important part. So half of the course evaluation would be based on your assignments. And you do have some programming, but I try to make a kind of fair share of both. So some like analytic tasks and some programming. And for the assignments, the assignment is going to be solved in the tutorials when you have it after the deadline. One thing that I should indicate, we have no extension for the deadlines in this course. Okay? I'm sorry, this is the convention for 1513. I cannot do it. So once the deadline is over, I'm sorry, I cannot take any submission, and then you're going to lose the mark. Okay? So then one thing, you must definitely pay attention to this fact that assignment is not simply just giving you some, easy marks. It is actually given with some, purpose. I try to just make the assignments in a way that once you solve it, you're going to get into some questions which hopefully going to get answered in the next session. So it's very important that you do it in good mood. You take your time, try to solve them by your own. But of course, you can use any resource. Yeah, any resource means you just go online, find anything. And I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But please take your time to solve it by your own, because this is very important for understanding the course. The midterm exam, on February 275th, so day 25th, it's because of the deep learning course, it was 27th. I either forgot or it didn't work, the backspace. So February 25th, gonna be the exam, so the week after the reading week, okay? On Tuesday. Same place, we do it here, same time, okay? So it's gonna be the midterm on that week. And it's gonna be basically, there is no programming there, just fundamental questions about the basics that you had in the course, questions that you can simply answer by hand, so you don't need to really have any computer with you. And about the final project, so the final project is somehow the replacement of your final exam. So how you do it, we're going to have groups of 4, and please just make the group of 4. I do know some of you want to do it group of 2, or 1, but this is not possible because we have 120 students in this course, and by group of 4, it means 30 groups. If I have more than that, I don't get time to correct the final reports, okay? So we're going to have groups of 4 definitely, and then somewhere around week 10, so we're going to start quite late because I do know that you need time to build some intuition, but around week 10, you're going to propose your topic, okay? And once you propose your topic, you can take your time till the very end. So week 14 is the week which you start doing your exams, right? And on that week, you can just submit your final report, okay? So each group is going to work on the project, so you're going to take one topic. Just take a look at Kirkus page. I try to explain how exactly the project works. And you're just going to think about, just group up by the mid of semester, somewhere around your midterm, and then try to choose a topic, submit one very short proposal by week 10, and then you have your time. The rest of time is your time for project, which you can just try to solve that particular problem that you have selected using either the tools that you exactly learned in the course or some tools related to machine learning, which are extension of what we have studied here. One very important intention, I do know some of you have the deep learning course and this course together. That is totally fine, no problem, but you cannot use the same project for both of them. So the project in each course is just serving as the final exam for that course, okay? So you're not supposed to just use exact same project in both courses. In case that it might be the case that, I don't know, this is your research project, you are really interested in that topic, and you want to do something related in both courses, that's fine, but you need to clarify the amount of overlap before you start, because this is going to somehow impact your final evaluation, okay? That's about this, so check the post on Kirkus about the details of the project, and let me see, yeah, so this time I haven't done any mistake. So this is the course calendar, so we're going to have the midterm exam exactly right after the reading week, and then it's pretty much the assignments with the deadline and the final project, okay? You can find it on Kirkus. Any questions? Great. So if you got no question, in-person sessions mean that we're going to meet every week, right? Every week at 6 o'clock, we're going to meet here. So I strongly advise you to just come over, recap. I am going to record the slides using the teaching station. I'm not sure if I can record the board. I'm not sure if I get the camera. So that is not guaranteed that I'm going to have high quality recording of the course. Okay? So I strongly suggest that you come over. So one of the reasons, as I told you a couple of hours ago, I do magics in the course. So I hide things. I just, change an elephant into a mouse or something like that. So you don't want to miss that. Definitely you need to be here. And the other point is that I need to teach lots of things on board. I mean, for this course, the convention is everything is on the board, okay? So I have tried to prepare some slides, some abstract of what I'm doing during the lecture in the form of slides, but that is not going to be the complete replacement, okay? So I do strongly advise you to attend. If you could, I do understand if you could not attend one or a couple of sessions. So that's it about the programming part. So we do all the programming in Python. You don't need to know anything but the very, very basics. So we're going to have tutorials, and inside the tutorials, you are going to get what you need to know if you want to accomplish an assignment. Okay? So that one you're going to get, and through semester, you're going to just improve your knowledge in Python. So, but the key point is that programming is not entirely the thing that you are doing in this course. I mean, you basically try to understand the fundamentals of machine learning, and of course, programming is a tool which helps you try, do experiments, and improve your understanding. So, that being said, about the background, so whatever background, as I said, you need, I try to cover in the course. If it is more than basic, I imagine that everybody has some basic information. And things like, for example, calculus, linear algebra, probability, anything else I try to explain before I just dive into that. So about the other courses. So there is one other course, a bunch of other courses. So there are some computer science courses, 311, 2515, and then we have the ECE1513, and there is this other version, 1504. So they are exclusions of this course because they cover many similar things. Yeah? So I'm not sure if that would be the case for many of you, but for some it might be that ECE421, which is the undergrad version of this one, you have already done this. So we are going to cover the same thing. So they are somehow exclusion, I mean, at least based on the web page of the course. And for the other course, 1508, which I talked about a couple of minutes ago, so for that one, that is totally fine. So because that one is on deep learning, this is on general machine learning, you could have both of the courses. They are designed to be taken together. Okay? That's it. So for the textbooks, so most of the course, I tried the first two textbooks, so Bishop and McKay, but I try to just present everything in my own way. So I just take examples from those textbooks. I would mention in the course where you might be interested to read if you want to just recap what we had in the course. But there are also a bunch of other textbooks which I just listed here. So Mitchell's, Goodfellow, and the ESL textbook by Tip Shirani. So these texts are like the famous ones. So in case that you were interested in one particular topic that anything we are talking, you could definitely find in most of them. I mean, maybe deep learning book is not the best one, but the other four, you can definitely find something related to that in those textbooks. So, terms and conditions. Some of you have done this before. So, you need to sign this terms and condition for me because I am going to do some sort of modification in the lecture notes right before I start the course. So, you should be okay with that. I'm sorry for this, but sometimes I find some sort of typos inside these slides. Or I just share something, it turns out that it was of other lecture now, of the other course. So that's going to happen a lot with me. So you should be okay with that I'm going to modify it a lot. I try to do it as least as possible, but if that happens, please excuse me in advance. That is one thing. And the other thing, anything related to the course, I'm going to share it in forms of mini badges. So I'm going to send you the lecture note right before the lecture. So I'm not going to give you the lecture note of lecture 10 right now, okay? Because I want to make sure I'm not doing any mistake in that, there is no typo, or maybe I want to modify it based on the feedback I get in the lecture. Okay? Is it a fine deal? Yeah? You would sign? Great. So if we have the deal, then I'm going to start right now, but please feel free to ask any question whenever I'm talking or teaching, because there is nothing that you can make me angry or make me feel that your question is stupid. I mean, there is no such thing. So there is a fact, a question is either having a simple answer, which I should be able to answer, or it has no answer or is very complicated, which means that I don't know it, so I cannot feel that you're stupid. So there is no case that you can feel ashamed of your question, okay? So anything, even very, very basic, you just ask it, because this is very important that you get every single details that I'm talking about to follow up the course. Rather than that, it's going to be just monotone. I'm just speaking and you're just listening, so it's no point in being here. Okay? Any questions? No questions?